Hey guys, what's happening and welcome to another episode of Anime Metal Viking with me, your host Viking. And today I've got another album review for you guys. I apologize for it being so late, but it would appear I am not too late for reviewing this album, as I've only come across one other review for this album, so I guess I'm not too late to the party. Anyway, this album was released on July the 30th, 2016, which was about a week and a half ago, I think. So this particular release is of local South African slam metal band, Vulvodynia. The name of this album is Psychosadistic Design. Now, before I get into this review, I would like to just point out that I read somewhere that slam metal is one of those more inaccessible genres of metal, and the few bands that are accessible to the metal community, let's just say the majority of metalheads really don't have much of a love for this genre. And it's mainly because of if you want to call it as such, the really nonsensical lyrics and overall just the songwriting that makes just about every single track on every single album or EP within this genre sound exactly the same. No band is different from the other. However, there are a few exceptions. There are some slam metal bands that actually have a lot of appeal within the metal community. One such band being Waking the Cadaver. They are a really awesome band, and a lot of metalheads seem to enjoy their music. However, overall, slam metal just generally doesn't have a very good reputation. Slam metal is akin to deathcore in some ways. They have their slam metal and deathcore actually have their roots, but they will never see eye to eye. And they do consist of some fairly different techniques. There's a difference between slams and breakdowns. I'm not a musician myself, so I can't exactly speak to say exactly 100% what the techniques are, but from what I've read, slams and breakdowns are two totally different things. And while I can hear they're different for myself, I can't exactly describe it because, like I said, I'm not a musician myself, so when it comes to terminologies and stuff, I can't exactly say I'm an expert when it comes to playing instruments or something like that. So we'll just leave that as that. However, this band has really strived and has put a lot of hard work into the music and to the lyrical contents to kind of make themselves totally apart from your usual slam metal band. While most slam metal songs sound overall the same from album to album to album, regardless of the band releasing it, this particular band has a reputation of making you think the song's going one way and then it takes a totally different direction. This band has really evolved since their debut EP. I personally haven't listened to their debut EP, but I have listened to every album, full-length album that they have released since their formation in 2014. And you could really hear how from their first album, which is for the most part just pure slam metal with some elements of deathcore here and there, you will hear from about the second album, which came out last year, right up until this one, that there is constant evolutionary change within the instrumentals. Within the instrumentals, the band likes to throw in elements of black metal, just death metal, technical death metal, and various other genres of metal gets incorporated into the instrumentals, which is, as I said, you think the song's going one way, but then it completely and totally changes. The music that they write is very technical, but it still has melody to it, especially in songs like on their previous album, Genetically Re-Engineered Repugnance, which you can hear on my previous video that I made celebrating the release of this album. And not only that, the lyrical content behind this album, and behind all the albums in general, is really stuff that actually gets you thinking, unlike a lot of nonsensical lyrics that slam metal bands like to write. This particular band, they like to make you think about the stuff you're listening to. And although granted, most metalheads who will probably listen to this will say, well, I can't hear a damn thing they're saying because it's mostly got pig squeals and guttural vocals and all that stuff. Either way, if you had to look up the lyrics on any of the lyric websites that provide lyrics for metal songs, etc., if you were to look at the lyrics behind these songs, it really is some thought-provoking stuff, regardless of whether you can make out what they're saying or not. And for this particular album, what sets it apart from their previous releases, this particular album seems to stay true to a constant theme, and that is serial killers. I like with most metal songs, I assume these different stories of these different serial killers, of which each track is based on. I assume they're all based on real stories, because during the songs, you will always hear clips from like news broadcasts, radio broadcasts, or tape recordings of when the police were busy interrogating the suspects, etc., asking them, like, why did you kill him, etc. And also, the guest vocalists like to help bring the stories to life. Like, for example, if a killer is a bit schizophrenic or whatever, they'll probably incorporate one or more vocalists on a particular track. And there was even a track about a female serial killer where I was actually surprised to see that the band incorporated the use of harsh female vocals. And this is what I was talking about in a previous video of mine called The Flaws of Deathcore and How the Genre Can Improve. Well, although, as I just mentioned, the slam metal is not deathcore, it has its roots there, but it's not deathcore. It's still nice to see that a genre as extreme as this is incorporating female vocals, which is something that's actually not seen very often in this style or these styles of metal music, but you'll most likely see it more in something like symphonic metal or melodic death metal. So it was really nice to see that happen. If this band do plan on including more harsh female vocalists in the future, then I say go for it, because I mean that particular track was one of the better ones, or should I say one of the best ones on this entire album, because all the tracks on this album are worth listening to and they are really great, and you can definitely feel the you can feel the story they're trying to tell through these songs. You can really feel and get into the minds of how these different serial killers work and why they do what they do. So it was good to see they stuck to a constant theme, and every track is consistent. Like I said, lyrical content is really some thought-provoking stuff. Really makes you think about why these people do what they do, and why we have these kinds of people in our society today. And it just overall, the musicianship, like I said, you think the songs go in one way, but it goes into a totally different direction. And that is something I like to see. And like I said, they incorporate elements of black metal, technical death metal, deathcore, and some various other styles, but still retaining true to the slam metal style. And as I mentioned, or I think I mentioned, Duncan Bentley, the vocalist, he has really grown as a vocalist. He has proven that he can do more than just slam metal vocals. I mean, he throughout the course of this album, because of the guest vocalists on this album, he has really come a long way in doing different styles. Like, there were some black metal screams in there and some various others that he incorporated along with his signature pig squeals and gutturals. And it was just really refreshing to hear that. And I mean, he has done it before on their previous release, but here I think he's really uh, brought himself up even more, and he has proven that you can pull off a great slam metal album uh, without only keeping one vocal style. So it was really great to see and hear that. And yeah, this is a very good album. I highly recommend it to anybody who is a fan of extreme metal. So if you're into bands like Waking the Cadaver, Oceano, Whitechapel, Cannibal Corpse, Disfiguring the Goddess, if you're into any of those kinds of bands, then you are bound to enjoy this band. You can stream the album on their Bandcamp page. I'll also leave a link to you can stream it on YouTube. The full album is available for stream on YouTube. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook. It'd be cool if you did. Just give their music a like if you come across it on the internet. And yeah, it is a really great album. I highly recommend you check it out. I'd rate this album a 98 out of 100. Mainly because it just goes to show that you can really pull off great things in within a genre of music that seems to limit itself in its own way, but at the same time, in doing this, it just goes to show that you can really push the boundaries and still make it sound great while staying true to the genre's roots. And that concludes this review for today. What did you guys think of this album? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on DeviantArt. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, guys, have a kick-ass day.